WNEW.
A WWF pay-per-view for 1 year is on the line. It's the Ron and Fez WWF Trivia Challenge.
It is the Ron and Fez WWF Trivia Challenge. Before we begin and meet the contestants, we just want to update you on a breaking news story that Robert Blake has been arrested in the murder of his wife, Bonnie Bakley.
The police, Fezzi, according to CNN, are saying that Blake tried to hire a hitman, failed at that, and went out and pulled the trigger himself. They also got Blake's, I guess, bodyguard or, assistant, whatever he's calling the guy. But I think that's more of part of the cover-up.
As an accomplice.
Yeah.
So Robert Blake arrested in the murder of his wife. That happened almost a year ago, May 4th.
But they are saying that Blake pulled the trigger. Now, he had a year free, the way I see it. He had a year of just partying.
Just enjoying himself without her in his ear. Yanny, yanny, yanny.
And in California, his chances are pretty good of getting away with this thing.
We've seen it before.
Because the police there have no idea what they're doing.
If I was his lawyers, I would cite the case of O.J. Simpson versus the state of California,
right,
where a murderer was actually let free.
Sure.
And just cite that as a legal precedent.
Why is my client any different? Because he's white?
I would immediately try to make him put on a glove.
Yeah.
I'd see how it works.
I'd have him come out in a baseball glove.
It's worked before. We have previous experience to back it up.
Act like he can't get his finger inside the murder weapon. It's too tight.
That trigger finger just doesn't fit.
His wife didn't fit. She's pounding half the guys off the internet, and she doesn't expect to take a bullet sooner or later. Come on.
Who else did she try to hook up with? We heard Dean Martin. There's pictures of her with Dino.
Yeah, she wanted Dean, but got to Dino.
Jerry Lee Lewis was part of that.
She got to. Jerry Lewis. She tried to get Martin and Lewis back together again, but she had Jerry Lee by mistake. All right, we are getting ready to do this WWF Trivia Contest, Fez.
That's right. The contestants are in studio. The way it'll work is every time we read a question, everyone has their pad and their pens. They will all write down an answer. Everyone tries to answer every question.
All right, let's go through and meet everybody. Here's contestant number one. Joe, how you doing, Joe?
I'm all right. What's up, man?
What do you do for a living, Joe?
I work at Abercrombie and playing hardcore band, Homicide High.
Homicide High, Fezzi.
Nice.
And you like wrestling and you play in a hardcore band?
Yeah.
Robert Blake graduated from Homicide High.
No, it's a different situation.
Oh, okay.
He didn't really graduate. He got caught.
GED.
Favorite wrestler, Joe?
The late, great Hayabusa.
Hayabusa, Fezzi. So we're going over into Japan for this?
He's paralyzed neck down now, so that's why I say late.
Even though he's alive.
Even though he's alive, you're saying late because to you, being paralyzed, you're no longer a human being, right?
Why not? You're crippled. You're worthless, basically.
And he's late for a lot of stuff.
Now he is touring under the name Doormat, which is wrong. All right,
the masked doormat.
Were you even familiar with this?
No, I had no idea about the wrestler or the accident.
Yeah.
The horrible accident.
Well, hopefully for you, Joe, there's a lot of Japanese wrestling.
I doubt there will be.
And me too.
Yeah, I doubt it.
All right, Rob, how you doing? Rob is contestant number 2, Fezzi.
Hi, Rob.
Rob, what do you do for a living?
How you doing? I'm an animal technician.
Really? So
you build animals? How's that work?
He doesn't build them. He fixes them.
Oh, when their parts break down.
Yeah, when they break down.
Yeah, that's about it.
So you like work for a vet?
I work for the Safari in Great Adventure, New Jersey. Yeah.
Nice. Can you get us in free? The park?
Try.
All right, we'll be friends. Favorite wrestler, Rob?
Al Snow and Great Muta.
I'm more Chinese. I'm more Japanese.
The Great Muta.
Well, careful that green mist. All right, Rob.
Hopefully no one will spit on you today.
Here, Fezzi, is the very cocky Vince who told us, he said it on the phone last night, you're talking to the winner, the last time we talked to him, he told me again in the green room. Why so cocky?
It's basically my life, and that's not an understatement.
Your life is wrestling?
Right. That is correct.
Favorite wrestler of all time?
Of all time? The Undertaker, when he was actually The Undertaker. Not this biker thing he's got going for him.
Now he's Biker Taker.
Yes, the Underbiker.
And Vince, when did you first get into it? Do you remember?
Slightly after WrestleMania 1, with all the hype still around it, I got swept up.
As a kid, he was swept up as a kid, and sticks with it. Here goes Dave. Dave, are you as big a fan as he is?
Probably not, but I am a big fan. Yeah.
What do you do for a living, Dave?
I'm a teacher.
Favorite wrestler of all time?
Undertaker.
Undertaker seems to be huge with the non-Japanese loving wrestling.
People loving the Taker or Japanese stars.
It doesn't, the alternative rock hardcore guy. Not shocked that he goes with something you've never heard of before.
Right.
Right, Dave, good luck to you. By the way, what age kids do you teach?
7 through 12, so they're teenagers.
Do you teach wrestling? Is that what it is?
Yes. When he has to, he takes them down, like we do sometimes in here.
Nice last ride for a 7th grader who's misbehaving.
Here is Doug. Doug, what do you do for a living, buddy?
I work in a deli.
Don't feel like you're going to pull this out, do you, Doug?
Not at all.
You don't seem that confident. I noticed that in the green room.
He's Mr. Imperfect.
Yeah, kind of.
Doug, why are you here then?
Something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to take up a seat.
Yeah, to eat up a Thursday night. Yeah.
Maybe you'll get nicest contestant from the other guys. There's some award that maybe they'll give out. Well, you don't know, Doug. Yeah, I do. You're not going to win. Raphael, how are you, my friend?
Right.
Hey, Raphael.
Where are you from? Shaolin, here to represent, Fezzi.
Very nice.
What do you do for a living?
I work in a toy store.
Cool.
Nice. Favorite wrestler?
RVD.
Rob Van Dam. He's American. I don't know if some of you guys know him. Joe and Rob go, I hate the mainstream stuff. All right, now, Fezzi is pretty much judge and jury over this. And Vince, maybe one day you and Fez will go toe-to-toe.
That'd be fun, Vince.
No, I'd defer to Fez's superior knowledge.
See, he's smart. He's
that's
playing,
classy.
He's playing to the host. That's a smart move.
That is good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to open the sealed envelope here. The way it'll work is we'll have 3 different rounds of questions. There'll be 3 questions worth 5 points each. Then 3 questions worth 10 points each. Then 1 question worth 25 points. And a tiebreaker if we need to go that far.
It's exciting, isn't it, Fez?
It's very exciting.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania, but it's more like a Summer Slam.
It does feel like a Backlash or an Unforgiven, sure.
And we're in your house, which you never see anymore. All right, Vince just twirled his green marker, so he's feeling strong.
All right, is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone answers the question. You write it down on your card, and then we'll check the answers.
Oh, by the way, Fez, Joe also asked if you could read each question in Japanese for him.
No, I will not, and do not write them in Japanese.
He's just going to be drawing pretty pictures.
All right, here is your first 5-point question. A year's worth of WWF pay-per-view on the line. Which wrestler was the first to appear on both Raw and Nitro on the same night?
First wrestler to appear on Raw and Nitro on the same night. Up to this time, Fezzi, I thought it would be impossible without destroying the space-time continuum that we need.
Apparently, this particular wrestler fell into a vortex and was able to pull it off on both shows on the same night. First one to ever pull it off.
By the way, Fezzi, I'd like to thank my assistant, Dorf, who...
Why is Wonder Boy on his kneecaps walking around the studio?
Well, you can't see it, but he also has little shoes down there.
Oh,
it really
that's
makes
cute.
it look like he's a midget.
It's Dorf on radio.
All right, everybody pens down? Pens down? Say the question again, Fezzi.
The first 5-point question was, which wrestler was the first to appear on both Raw and Nitro on the same night?
Joe, what's your answer?
I took a wild swing and said Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon.
Sorry. Sorry, not Shane McMahon.
Now, the funny thing is, I did think I saw Shane McMahon on both shows one night.
Yes, he did do it, but he was not the first.
Not the first. Here is Rob. Rob, you got an answer.
Well, I put Ric Flair, but I have a feeling it's wrong.
Ric Flair. All right.
Sorry.
Our friends from the Far East are 0 for 2. Vince, who came in here cocky, let's see what he has. What do you have, Vince?
It's simply ravishing. Ravishing Rick Rude.
Rick Rude. Woo! Woo! is the correct answer, Vince. Vince has 5 points on the board.
And I like you for saying simply ravishing. Thanks for, you got a little flair to this. You sound a little bit. Dave, the school teacher, what do you have, buddy? Booker T and then a question mark. No, you're a
He didn't know how to spell T.
You're a teacher. What if one of your kids just put a question mark? Yeah. Put a kind of a guy. Look, and he also wrote in the face of a confused guy.
You would mark off. All right, so
when he writes notes to the kids, there's a question mark. Maybe Washington, I don't know.
We're not sure yet.
All right, so far only Vince has picked up the 5. Maybe he was right to be cocky. Here's Doug, who came in here as the underdog, Fezzi. Doug, what do you have? Rick Rude.
Nice work, Doug.
All right, Doug is tied for first. Who's laughing at Doug now, Fez?
Doug may have been trying to lure us in.
Yeah, I think he was, too. Even though, really, that strategy does you no good.
No, you either know it or you don't.
All right, here's Raphael. Rick Rude.
All right now, after the first question, 3-way tie for first. Vince with 5 points, Doug with 5 points, and Raphael with 5 points.
Now, remember, you guys who missed the first question have to leave now. No, you don't have to. There's a long way to go in this game.
All right, next 5-point question. Pen's ready. When Andre the Giant defeated Hulk Hogan for the WWF title in 1988, who did he give it to? That's your next 5-point question. When Andre the Giant defeated Hulk Hogan for the WWF title in 1988, who did he give it to?
Who did he give it to?
Who did Andre give it to?
Give the championship belt to. He
handed it over.
Handed it over to somebody, Fez.
Presented him with it.
And, to me, I found it shocking.
Yes.
But then again, I'm a traditionalist. Hey, which one of you guys brought your folks? I noticed one of you guys brought your folks.
Who brought their parents? Oh,
nice,
of course,
Doug. All right. You really, as if being in a WWF contest isn't geeky enough, you brought your folks along.
One of these days, we're going to see Doug on CNN getting hauled out of his house like Robert Blake.
He just thought on the odd thing that there is a girl, let her see me here with my folks.
Let her know I'm a family kind of guy.
You enjoying this, Wonder Boy?
Having a great time.
Thanks, Dorf on Radio. All right, everyone ready? Pens down?
Question again, Fez?
When Andre the Giant defeated Hulk Hogan for the WWF title in 1988, who did he give it to?
I don't know, but I wrote Great Muda in Japanese.
Aren't you clever, Joe?
All right. Asian Joe is already starting to F himself out of the chance here.
Asian Joe!
Tokyo Joe no longer cares about the game. He's going to go, okay, I'm going to fail this semester, but I'll make all the other people in class laugh.
He came in here with an agenda, and that's to push Japanese death matches, and that's all he's interested in.
He's hoping maybe an occasional Terry Funk match. Who knows? What's that?
If you guys walk out with a better knowledge of Japanese wrestlers, I'm done. I've done my job.
Joe, I don't think we can walk out of any more knowledge. Joe, what we're getting from you.
And Joe, we had a call from Pharrell. He needs his voice back for tomorrow's show. I'm riding around in the Pharrell helicopter, having a great time. A great mood is bringing everything together. Let's have that great mess. All right, here's Rob, the other Japanese fan. Rob, what do you have?
I have Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase.
Woo! The answer is yes, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
All right, Rob, you're on the board. You left your buddy Tokyo Joe behind. Now let's go over to Vince, who Fezzi has guaranteed, like a young Cassius Clay, guaranteed to win here. What do you have, Vince?
Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Vince, do the evil laugh again. And he asked Black Girl if he would play the part of Virgil tonight. Yeah. And that's just wrong. That is wrong.
That's his manservant.
Yes, that is correct, Vince. Vince now up to 10 points.
All right, there's Vince. He's unblemished, Fuzzy. Let's go to Dave, the school teacher. Dave, what do you have for us?
I
have the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Very nice. Dave gets on the board with 5 points.
And then Dave wrote snakes underneath it as a way of scaring Andre the Giant.
That's just mean.
Yeah, it really is. All right, Doug, your folks are in the other room going, we've got to have them in bed by 10. I don't want this to get in the way of his studies. Doug, how are you?
I'm doing good.
You got an answer for us?
Ted DiBiase?
Ted DiBiase!
Ted DiBiase. Doug gets another 5 points.
Tied for first. Way to go, Doug. And Fezzy, he's still playing the underdog role, like, oh, jeez, I don't think I can win this thing. And he's just glaring at Vince. Raphael.
Ted DiBiase.
All right.
Nice work, Raphael.
Also on blemish, we got 3 guys, Fezzy, who have not missed a question yet.
We have Vince, Doug, and Raphael all with 10 points each. Coming up right behind them, Rob and Dave with 5 points each, and Joe with nothing.
It is the WWF contest. Winner will pick up a year's free WWF pay-per-view.
1 year pay-per-view free from the World Wrestling Federation. We have one more 5-point question in this round. Here it is. Who won the Yokozuna Body Slam Challenge on the deck of the USS Intrepid?
I saw Vince smirk at you that time, Fezzy.
I know.
He can't believe it. By the way, I'll give you a CNN update. Robert Blake just removed from the car in handcuffs, taken into the police station. He has been arrested. Robert Blake, almost a year after his wife was murdered.
Robert Blake in custody, and they're saying that not only did he arrange his wife's murder, he was the trigger man.
He arranged to kill her himself, which is, you wouldn't think it would have to be that formal. All right, looking this over, Fezzy, it's Joe. Joe's got 0 points. Rob's got 5. Vince has 10. Dave has 5. Doug has 10, and Raphael has 10. The long way to go with this, though. Still a lot of points left there on the board.
And the last of the 5-point questions was, who won the Yokozuna Body Slam Challenge on the deck of the USS Intrepid?
Tokyo Joe, my man, I want to see you get on the board. What do you got?
Rex Ruger.
Rex Ruger. He's doing a Japanese voice for us. Lex Luger. All right.
All right, it was Lex Luger who body slammed Yokozuna.
All right. Jeez. Let's go to Rob.
I have the same thing, Lex Luger.
Lex Luger.
Very nice. Another 5 points for Rob. That brings him up to 10 points.
Vince, should we even ask?
Well, yeah, I was hoping these questions would be a little more obscure, but Lex Luger.
All right.
There you go.
Now, remember, we're still in the 5-point range, so it's still a little bit easy. Dave, you got the answer?
I got Lex Luger.
Lex Luger must have made a huge impact on people. One body slam contest, but it was heard around the world, Fezzy. Yes, everybody knows where they were when Yokozuna got slammed.
Finally.
My folks had just got me up for school, Fez, and I remember my dad was ashen face, and he looked at me and said, somebody just slammed Yokozuna. And my mom screamed and started to throw up.
I remember screaming, why did the narcissist just slam Yokozuna?
I yelled, will we be okay? Will we be okay? Let's go over to Doug. Doug.
I also have Lex Luger.
Lex Luger.
Whoa! Very nice, Doug.
Your folks are so happy they said maybe we'll get ice cream on the way home tonight.
Yay!
Raphael, you staying unblemished. Lex Luger.
All right. These guys know their stuff so far.
Fezzy, they are going through your questions like tissue paper. And some of us, when you went over them with us last night, we're going, these are a little too hard.
Yeah, we thought we were being easy or hard on them.
Yeah, we shouldn't have been using Hawk and Rory to play with. We had to remember the next time we do one of these contests.
All right, after the first round of questions, Raphael, Doug, and Vince all tied for the lead with 15 points, undefeated in question answering. Right behind them is Dave and Rob with 10 points. Joe with 5 finally gets on the board.
We will take a break and come back and have a winner, Fezzy. But also, if you're just tuning in on CNN right now, and probably, all the other news networks, Robert Blake has been picked up for his wife's murder. He is being charged in California.
We'll be right back. 877-692-1027.
Ron and Fez.
We're Ron and Fez in the middle of the WWF Trivia Challenge. One of these 6 players is going to walk away with a year's worth of pay-per-view from the World Wrestling Federation. By the way, Backlash is on this Sunday at 8 p.m. live and only on pay-per-view from the World Wrestling Federation. Right now, the way it stands is we have a 3-way tie for the lead with Vince, Doug, and Raphael all with 15 points each. In second place, there's Rob and Dave with 10 points. Joe bringing up the rear with 5 as we enter the next round. 3 questions each worth 10 points.
Fezzi, Robert Blake's attorneys did say he has been arrested in the wife's death. And apparently the weird thing there is they are saying that he did it, not hired a hitman as they kind of thought last year.
Yeah, they thought if it was Robert Blake behind this, then he arranged it while he ran back to the restaurant and made sure that the wife was sitting there in a secluded area for the hitman.
He seemed like such an idiot. The hitman is perfect tonight for Bret Hart.
Right.
I hope that's not one of the questions.
We'll see.
Who was the hitman? Because Vince says they're that easy, Fez. Vince, Doug, and Raphael not missed a question in the 5-pointers.
They're getting them all. We're moving into the 10-pointers. Hopefully these will be a little tougher for this crowd.
Yeah. We'll have to know next time. We are ready, Fez.
All right, here is your first of the 10-point questions. Pen's ready. Who was Hulk Hogan's manager when he first appeared in the Federation in 1979? Who was Hulk Hogan's manager when he first appeared in the Federation in 1979?
By Hulk Hogan, are you speaking of Hollywood Hogan?
Yes, I am, Ron.
See, I'm a little too young to remember when he went by the name of Hulk.
You only know NWO Hogan.
Yes, that's when I started to find out who he was.
You didn't know he had a whole red and yellow career before that.
No.
All right, Joe's still writing.
Joe is still writing. Joe, of course, our Japanese representative, and he was asking, I hope you do some Japanese hardcore. And no, Joe.
No, that won't be happening.
Joe, all right, everybody's pens down. Let's hear the question again, Fez.
All right, the first of the 10-point questions. Who was Hulk Hogan's manager when he first appeared in the Federation in 1979?
Joe, has the Tiger Spirit kicked in? Are you prepared?
Yeah, but I just changed my answer at the last second. Is it cool? I didn't write it down. Unless you want me to scratch it out and write it down right now.
No, did you? You have to give us what you wrote down.
Damn. I put a very unknown at the time independent wrestler named Rick Angley.
Okay. All right.
Let me just.
The other wrestling geeks are pointing and laughing now.
Yeah. Just write down your other answer so I can see it, okay? Because I want to just see if you're even in the ballpark. Because writing down Rick Angley does. Now
he's just making up names, Ronnie.
Yeah. You would have got it, Joe. Before he had the Rick Angley brain fart. After that cleared out, he understood who it was.
Is Rick Angley controlling your thoughts? That's the only way his name will get brought up here.
He's not even controlling his thoughts now. He's actually like on Zoloft, the Depression.
Oh, so he's the late Rick Angley.
That was going to be the next question. Which independent wrestler is on Zoloft?
It would have to be which one isn't.
All right, Rob.
Rob, I'm going to repeat the question.
Rob, you have a funny seat here next to him, don't you? Make sure you don't copy.
For your own sake. The question was, who was Hulk Hogan's manager when he first appeared in the Federation in 1979?
I have Classy Freddie Blassie.
Classy Freddie Blassie.
It is Classy Freddie Blassie.
Nice one.
The fashion plate.
Vince doesn't look quite so conky, so we'll check in. Here's the guy who claims he's going to win it all. Vince, do you have the answer?
I'm thinking Classy Freddie Blassie.
Classy Freddie Blassie.
Vince still undefeated.
And not Rick Angley. Not in any...
No.
Yeah.
Not Rick Angley.
Well, he's on Zoloft now. As if that's our business.
So that's another 10 points for Vince.
Dave, the teacher. What do you got, Dave?
This was before my time. I put Luscious Johnny V.
Luscious Johnny V.
Sorry. Not Johnny Valiant.
All right, here comes Doug. Doug, who came in here saying he's not going to win because he's done well so far. What do you have, Doug?
I didn't follow the crowd and write classy, but I got Freddie Blassie.
Will we accept Freddie Blassie? Oh, we
Yes,
will
we
accept
do.
that. At this point, I think we ought to accept Rick Angley. Make this thing like the Special Olympics and everybody gets something.
So Doug, who didn't think he was going to get a question right, hasn't missed one yet.
And Joe would actually be the only person not to get a medal at the Special Olympics. Raphael, what do you have, buddy?
Rick Angley as well.
You did not.
I had the Grand Wizard.
The Grand Wizard.
Grand Wizard.
Nice try.
Sorry. No points scored there, Raphael.
I'm just happy anybody remembers the Grand Wizard, Fezzi. I'm excited about that.
No.
I wish you did.
All right, now we have a two-way tie for first place with Vince and Doug, each with 25 points. They haven't missed a question. Behind them is Rob with 20 points. Then comes Raphael with 15, Dave with 10, and Joe last place with 5.
But still enough points out there, Fezzi, that no one's really out of it except for probably Joe.
Sure. There'll be 2 more 10-point questions and then the big 25-pointer.
All right, and this on the instant feedback, Joe is also getting his license revoked after tonight's show.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see. All right, what do we have?
All right, here's the next question. Who was the first black WWF Intercontinental Champion?
The first African-American Intercontinental Champion.
Who was it? That is worth 10 points. Dave's thinking. Some people still writing.
This one I don't think I know at all. Not that I knew the other 4.
Joe's asking, by black, do you mean Japanese? No.
No. No, we don't. This is a pretty good group here. Rob's still writing down. Dave's still writing down.
Raphael, are you done or are you thinking?
Yeah.
You're done? Okay.
All right, let's go to Joe. The question one more time, Fuzzy.
The question was, who was the first black WWF Intercontinental Champion?
Joe, first African-American WWF Intercontinental Champion.
He's not Japanese. I took another wild guess. I said the Junkyard Dog.
JYD, Fuzzy.
Sorry, not the JYD.
Nice try, though. That was actually a nice attempt. Rob, do you have one?
With Natural Butch Reed.
The Natural Butch Reed.
Sorry.
Wow.
But both fine wrestlers.
Yeah, actually, both answers pretty good. Vince, do you have an answer?
Well, this was before my time. I wasn't even alive through it, but I'm taking a guess and saying Bobo Brazil.
Bobo Brazil.
Sorry.
Because you know what? He came in here talking like he's like should be the next Shawn Michaels with his mouth. He's walking out without a.
Nobody should be the next Shawn Michaels.
Now, and Joe, those head games didn't get to you, did they? Did they, Rick Angley?
I deserve to take some hot sauce for that wrong answer.
All right, he's ready to eat hot sauce. So we'll do that after the show. You'll have to do a shot of hot sauce. Dave, why the rest of us are laughing, you don't feel so confident, do you?
I have Special Delivery Jones.
SD Jones, nice one.
SD Jones? Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. He also drew a picture of a black Japanese wrestler, Fez.
Oh, very nice. The Black Ninja.
If this was some kind of a strange art class, you'd get extra points. But it's not, Dave. Finally, you got a question that gets these guys on the rope, Fezzy. I'm proud of you on this
Good,
one.
I'm glad.
All right, let's go over to Doug. Doug hasn't missed a question all night. What do you have, Doug?
Oh, now I got Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas?
Sorry.
That's another good guess, though. That's another very good guess. Raphael?
Ahmed Johnson.
The answer is... Woo! Ahmed Johnson!
Ahmed Johnson!
Very nice, Raphael. Ahmed Johnson defeated Goldust in June of '96 to win the Intercontinental title. That's 10 points for Raphael and puts him back in a tie for the lead.
Tie for lead with Vince, who, Fezzy, Vince has found himself in a little trouble. He thought he was not going to miss a question and took the collar on the last question.
All right, one more 10-point question in this round. Here we go. In 1980, who did Hulk Hogan face in a historic showdown at New York Shea Stadium?
1980, local question. Who did Hulk Hogan take on in Shea Stadium?
The guys are thinking. Still, anyone's ball game here, as it's WWF pay-per-view free for an entire year.
Hulk Hogan in Shea Stadium, 1980.
Who did he face in a historic showdown?
The questions have gotten a little tougher. Vince not seeming as cocky as he once was.
And yet, Joe, oddly enough, getting cockier.
Yes. As he loses, he jumped up and was screaming in your face at a guy who's got 20 more points than him.
This question is worth 10 points. In 1980, who did Hulk Hogan face in a historic showdown at New York Shea Stadium?
All right, let's go over to the guy, Fezzi. If this was baseball, we'd nickname him the Devil Rays. It's our own Joe. Joe, who did Hulk Hogan take on in Shea Stadium, 1980?
I said Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund.
Sorry.
What's the name of your band again?
Homicide High. What, should I change it to Suicide High after all this?
What, are you guys playing anywhere, Joe?
Yeah, we're playing tomorrow at the Manheim Club in the Bronx.
I want you to get something out of this. I want you to be able to plug your band.
I wanted to bring the CD.
Well, yeah, we'd love to play the CD.
We would love to have one of your CD. I got my drink sitting here all without a coaster.
We'd play it. We'd give it a chance. Rob, here's the question again from Fez.
Rob, in 1980, who did Hulk Hogan face in a historic showdown at New York Shea Stadium?
Let me just guess, Fezzi. Was it Tug McGraw?
No, not Tug McGraw.
Okay, well, the Shea Stadium threw me off.
Or Rick Angley.
Rob, what do you got?
All right, I took a guess and said Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik.
Sorry.
It's kind of the right era. Vince, who is now biting the lower lip, Fezzi.
What's wrong, Vince?
I do not know. I guess Roddy Piper.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's 2 shots of hot sauce you owe us, big man. All right, Dave, the school teacher, looking kind of solemn.
I put Nikolai Volkov in a picture of a Japanese-Russian guy.
Your artwork and your answers about the same level.
No matter what happens, we all feel like we can make fun of Joe. That's the beauty of this game, that there's always a Joe.
My whole life been the ass of the joke.
His whole life he's been the ass of the joke, Fezzi. As if a joke can have an ass to it.
If it can, it's Joe.
Dougie, what do you have, Doug?
Larry Zbyszko.
Larry Zbyszko, right era.
Sorry, Doug. Sorry.
Raviel. Iron Sheik.
We know that's a sorry?
So in the last 2 questions, Fezzi, only one correct answer. You've blown the fastball by them all here. They're mid-relievers. Unbelievable.
I feel much better about myself.
Yeah.
The answer to that question, in 1980, who did Hulk Hogan face in a historic showdown at New York Shea Stadium? Andre the Giant. Andre got the win in that match.
See, I never knew that Andre ever beat Hogan.
See, that was when Andre was good and Hulk was bad.
Yeah.
With that whole Blassie thing.
Sure. All right, there you go, guys. Still the same scores. Raphael with 25, Vince with 25, Doug with 25, Dave has 10, Rob has 20, and Joe has 5. But still, anybody can win except for Joe, probably.
The 10-point round is over, so now what we have left is the one question worth 25 points. If necessary, we will go to a tiebreaker.
So the 10-point round's over already?
Yeah, that was it.
Very quick. That 5-point round went on forever.
Well, a lot of times we're just passing by Joe anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, Joe can still win this if he gets the question correct and nobody else hits it. So it could happen for you, Joe. Mathematically, you can still do it.
Nice,
and remember,
Joe.
in the last 2 questions, only one person got one. So,
All right.
This is the big one, the 25-pointer.
For 25 points, what WWF superstar holds the dubious distinction of having the most WrestleMania losses? What WWF superstar holds the dubious distinction of having the most losses at WrestleMania? Everyone's thinking.
Everybody's thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see who gets it. Some folks still writing. Some folks still thinking.
And Dave, of course, takes a little extra time because he draws. No matter what happens, we get a little cartoon figure out of him.
We will get a funny picture.
Yeah. Dorf's still following me around all night, Fez. I like to pace and try to wear out his knees.
I don't know why. Wonder Boy is on his kneecaps following Ronnie around holding his headphone cord. Like he's on the sidelines of a football game, except on his knees.
I'm Bear Bryant walking back and forth, and he's a freshman. All right, that's just about it, guys. If you can just finish it up. Give the question one more time, Fez.
Here's the question. For 25 points, what WWF superstar holds the dubious distinction of having the most WrestleMania losses?
All right, we're going to have to say pens down, everybody. Pens down. Here we go. What WWF superstar has the most WrestleMania losses? Is that correct, Fez?
That is correct. Most losses at WrestleMania.
Joe, I know you're thinking Mr. Fuji, but let's see. Joe, what do you have?
I'm just blank, so if you even want to read that to them, it's up to you.
He wrote The Undertaker or some Japanese guy you don't know.
Sorry.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for playing. Jeez, get out.
He's the Iron Mike Sharp of this game. Barry Horowitz, okay, but Barry actually got a win one time.
Too bad that wasn't an answer.
Rob, here is the question.
Rob, we always have to re-ask the question after we go to Joe because it's just so distracting.
If this was the Olympics, Joe would be Luxembourg.
What WWF superstar holds the dubious distinction of having the most WrestleMania losses?
Tito Santana.
The answer is Tito Santana.
Wow! Rob moves into first place with an amazing, Fezzi, 45 points.
45 points for Rob, now in first place.
Now, Vince, you can pass him with the correct answer.
From Tacula, Mexico, Tito Santana.
Arriba! Vince has now gone into the lead with 50 points.
50 points. Dave, you cannot win, but why don't you just show us your pretty picture and your answer?
I have a picture of a Mexican guy being leg dropped by a Japanese guy, and it's Tito Santana.
Oh, very nice. Dave, you finish up tonight with 35 points and a great artist.
Dave has, he's picked me up after the Joe question every night. I feel like I get into someone who cares by the time I get over here.
All right, we're going to the two guys now that can tie Vince for the lead.
Hanging out with these guys, I'm wondering why more WWF fans don't get laid, Fezzi. It's shocking to me. You would think. All right.
These guys got hassled by a bunch of Trekkies earlier.
Yeah, right.
Outside our building.
Trekkies chased them down the street. Dungeons and Dragons guys were taking their lunch money. Doug, you got a chance to tie here, and we wish you the best. The answer is Tito Santana. What do you have?
I drew a blank, so I wrote down my girlfriend's name, Shannon DeLucia.
All right, so you called Shannon DeLucia the biggest loser in WWF WrestleMania history.
Oddly enough, she shares the nickname El Matador.
Can I be the person who's gone down in Ron and Fez history as the most losses in any trivia question?
Yeah, sure you can, Joe.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Way to take the heat off of Doug.
Someone put some tape on his head that says it.
All right, only Raphael can tie, Fezzi. If not, the very cocky Vince walks away with the win. What do you got, Raphael?
It's like Vince one. I actually put Iron Mike Sharp.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
There he is.
With 50 points.
Raise the hand.
It is Vince.
Ain't that great?
Very nice, Vince. You just won yourself a year's worth of pay-per-view from the World Wrestling Federation that invite you to check out WWF's Backlash this Sunday at 8 p.m. live and only on pay-per-view. Backlash presented by the World Wrestling Federation and Sour Skittles.
All right, best of luck to you guys. Thanks for coming in. You want to plug your band again, Joe? Is that it? Okay, buddy, go ahead.
Where Homicide High will be playing the Mannheim Club in the Bronx tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll be on last. And if you want to make fun of me for being here, you can do that too.
You'll be on 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
We'll be on probably around like 9 because we're the best band there. At least I could say we're the best at something. May it not be trivia, but we are the best band in the Bronx. I like to say it.
All right.
I don't think people need this contest to make fun of you, Joe.
Dave has a plug.
Yeah, I have a plug tomorrow. I'm giving an exam in room 211. So everyone be prepared. That's my plug. If you want to come down, it's all up to you.
I would put Tito Santana as the answer on that exam.
Yeah, you get extra points if you write down Tito Santana's name. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Vince, way to go, bud.
Congratulations,
You
Vince.
said you were going to win it all.
And you did it, big man.
It ain't bragging if you can back it up. All right, Fuzzy, the big news story tonight, shocking the world, Robert Blake has been arrested.
Robert Blake has been arrested in the murder of his wife, Bonnie Lee Bakley, from last May. And also, Robert Blake's bodyguard was also taken into custody. And they believe that it was Robert Blake who actually pulled the trigger that killed his wife.
Apparently, they're saying now Blake's still on the way to the police station. We saw him earlier in cuffs. He's handcuffed in the back of a police car. Blake's attorney is already at the police station waiting for him.
Now, I remember the last story we heard about this, like in the Post, was Blake's attorney thought the theory was the wife hired the hitmen to kill Robert Blake, and they turned on her.
Yeah, right.
Much like in WWF style.
That is going to happen. Oh, good news, Fuzzy. Somebody just came in who's going to be at the Cruel Circus with us tomorrow night. It's Keith. Keith is a mutant, which is always a great thing. Well, these guys might want to see Keith first. Let the WWF guys check out the mutant. Keith, come on in, buddy. Keith, you don't have a trick, but you said there's something strange about your body. What is it?
It is my feet. I have webbed feet.
Oh!
No way!
Fezzi, we're looking at a guy with duck feet. Let him get into one of the chairs and put his feet up here where we can check it out.
All right, we'll put him right up on the console.
Let's take a look at the... Yeah. All right, spread them open, and where are the webs?
Okay, the webs are...
Oh, yeah, look at that. I can see him on the backside here, on the underfoot.
Having 2 big toes. I mean,
Wow.
It's never seemed abnormal to me.
Yes, it's abnormal. It's just, that's freaking me out just looking. Now, can't you get a bandsaw or something and just slice those properly?
No, they said they could possibly do it, but it's really not worth having done.
Now, Fezzi, do you think that this mutation proves that we're heading back into being fish?
I think we're headed right back into the ocean, it looks like. Are you a good swimmer?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're a good swimmer, Keith?
Let's bring Al Dukes in here. Al, get back in here. Bring your big gay heart back into our room. You can't come in here like a big gay cricket. Al, I want you to take your finger and rub along the webbed toes and let us know what it feels like.
Right on the top part of the bottom.
Oh, I need you
all
to
around
from the top and see if you can't get in between the webbing.
All right, I'll
try to get your finger in between those toes that are just locked together with webbing.
Now, when he first told us that his feet were webbed, I thought it would be further apart because he kind of more duck-footed. This is if you just glued the second and third toe together.
Right, it's like one just big solid piece of skin there.
Yeah, it feels
Let everybody come in and say they all want to see the freak toes, and you can't blame them. Keith, this is an exciting... You may win this just on a awful birth of nature that you have here. Everyone get close. It's the boy with webbed toes. Go ahead and touch it if you need to.
Why aren't we selling tickets to this freak?
There they are. They're completely webbed feet. Help yourself, rub,
touch it, lick.
Try and pull them apart if you want to.
Yeah,
Will it hurt you if we try to pull them apart? In case he's, all right, they've just warmed them and they're yanking his toes.
They're yanking Webby's toes.
Now, do you ever try to, win money with this? And
Actually, no. I mean, this is the first time anything has ever come up about it.
Really?
Outside of the fact that I've always been busted on it by my friends. When we were kids, everyone tried to, tear them apart. They'd like play at them. No, I've never gone that.
What about a screwdriver and just jab them?
Just kind of pry them apart. They look, if you pried them, they'd come loose.
No, absolutely not.
You consider the two that are melded together as one toe?
Absolutely.
So you're also a four-toed freak.
Yeah,
the second and third toe on each foot.
Joe, the Japanese lover from the Bronx, just brought out a box cutter.
Oh, great.
You think it would hurt if we start to slice at you with a razor?
I would think so.
I'm willing to take that chance. You want some Percocet?
That might be in order.
Joe's band is ready with Percocets at all times.
Now, I can only see the underneath. Are the nails weird?
No, the nails, come on over and help yourself, Fezzy. It's you know, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't want to miss this, and he was kind enough to let everybody trying to pull them apart. And you can see they're just totally sealed. Normal nails. Probably could use a pedicure. But other than that, you're looking at somebody who looks like he's glued his second and third toes together.
Yeah, there's actually a seam there where they should come apart, but they're completely connected.
Now, did your mom...
What a freak.
When your mom was pregnant, she said she did acid or anything? Or?
What happened?
Not that I know of.
She went sushi? What?
I have no idea. You know, they lived in Italy for a while, so maybe it was something over there they ate. I don't know. I was born shortly after that.
Oh, that's right, because Italians are aquatic, aren't they?
There you go.
Well, that whole Venice thing, they have no roads, Fezzy. They had to swim to school. And sooner or later, the toes come together.
And you're becoming a porpoise boy.
Now, tomorrow night at Cruel Circus, I don't know whether you win, but I'm willing to guarantee you'll get laid. There's got to be a Frenchie or a Claire or a sweet Melissa who's never been with somebody with webbed toes.
Oh, they'll go nuts for these freak feet.
Hey.
Joe just keeps on talking.
It was pathetic, so shut up.
Nobody else in my family has it either.
No, is that right?
Really?
Nobody. So.
No, your dad has a rhino horn coming straight out of his nose.
How's he doing?
Mom has small wings. They don't work, but they're back there.
And your sister, Lobster Claws, used to date Billy.
Oh, that's see, she's itchy. She tried to make up excuses. We should bring her and her claws in tomorrow night. That and chicken parm. Boy, he goes through the chicks, doesn't he? What a bunch of... No, forget it. All right, we got to go to break here, Fezzy. You'll see you tomorrow night, Keith.
Okay.
And I'm guaranteeing you're going to be a big, big hit. You ought to be so proud and thrilled about your freak feet. They're just the best.
Very cool, Keith.
And
you're not freaky. You're just different.
Sure.
You're special.
You're just different like a mutant. We'll be right back. It's the Ron and Fez Show.